All right, so today we are going to create the background for the prints that we are going to be making tomorrow. So last time we created the printing plate that's gonna create the shapes on this paper, but today we're gonna focus on the colorful background. And we're going to create something called radial balance. So radial balance starts in the middle and kind of radiates out from the center. So when we're painting, we either start in the center, or the other option is we can almost create like an X on our paper, and we can make lines coming out from that point. So in this one, it's just straight lines coming out from the center point, but you could also do wavy lines coming out from the center point. This one is a little bit more circular, so it's kind of starting in the middle and then growing outward in a circular form. It could look like something. Nature gives us a lot of radial balance. Flowers, for example, show radial balance. If you cut open a lot of fruits, this one kind of looks like a grapefruit. That can also show radial balance. Snowflakes are a good example of that as well. And you can combine them. So like this one kind of starts with a circle in the middle, and then it's got the rays kind of coming out almost like a sun. This almost looks like the center of a flower in kind of that same way. So when you start today, you have to do 2 of these because our goal is to make 2 prints. So there's a rough side to this paper and a smooth. We want to write our name on the rough side up in the corner there, and then also your table color, and I'm going to go with gray because that's where I sit. Make sure you write your table color. Oops, wrong letter. And then that's on the rough side, so then we're painting on the smooth side. So I'm just gonna start with one of these. Now you have 2 brush options here. You have a flat, it's about a 1/2 inch wide brush. So if you wanna do something that's a little bit more blended, has bigger spaces, this is a great brush to use. We also have a round brush here. And so if you're gonna do something with a lot of lines or some smaller details, then this is a good brush to use. And you can certainly use both in the same picture here. I'm just gonna work with the flat brush to kind of show you what to do quickly, but you will certainly be able to use both. You have a little squirt bottle here with water and a water cup. We don't need a lot, just a small amount. So when you need clean water, you can definitely go dump it in the sink, rinse it out, but we fill our water cups from this, and if this ends up empty, just refill this bottle. That way we're not getting too much water. And then sets of watercolors, and the trays have slightly different colors in them. The one I would avoid is black. And the reason is we are not gonna wanna use black because we are already using black when we do the printing. We're gonna print in black ink. So if you have black in the background and then you have this black ink on top, you're not gonna see your design very well. So I will not be using that black there. Now, if I want colors to blend, it's always good to go in order. So kind of rainbow order. If I don't want them to blend, then they don't necessarily have to go in that order. But I like to usually do either a warm color set or a cool color set. So I'm gonna start here with yellow. Since I have clean water right now, if you use yellow with dirty water, it never stays yellow. So I'm gonna just start with that. And I'm gonna start this one with that sort of X way of finding the center point there. So you can see the more you swirl, the better your color is gonna be. So if it's not spreading out, it's a water problem. Add a little water, but if you don't have good color, you need to load up your brush more. All right, so I'm gonna add in the sides as well here to get started. And then I think I need a little more water this time. And then after I do that, I'm gonna do kind of a triangular design. So I'm gonna move to orange next. Lots of swirls to get it started here. And then I'm gonna trace sort of the inside edge of those yellow lines. Now, if you wanna leave some white space in your design, you certainly can. It looks fine to have some white in it when you're printing on it, so there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't want white, then just make sure you paint the whole paper and paint off the edges, okay? We can always clean the table, it's just watercolor paint. But if you want it all the way painted, make sure you go all the way to the edges there. I kind of missed in a few spots. So I'm just kind of doing that same thing all the way around. That's what makes it radial, is it starts in the middle and radiates out. So if you don't do it the same all the way around, you are not creating radial balance. All right, so now that I have that orange on there, now I can go in and maybe add, I could do 2 more colors, 1 more color. I could just fill in the triangle shapes, or I could go maybe red, and then maybe I'll finish this one up with a little bit of magenta. So I'm looking to paint the whole paper here. And it's fine if your colors overlap too, that's great. It won't matter in the grand design because you're not gonna see a lot of the background. The background is gonna be at least halfway covered up by the printing. So don't get stuck trying to be too perfect with how you put the paint on here. Sometimes the messier ones look even better than ones where we're really neat because you get a lot of cool color combinations in them. So then I'm gonna finish this one up here with this magenta, kind of that hot pink color. And this one will be done. So once I'm done with this one, I'm gonna put it over on the drying rack, and then I can start on my second one. So for the second one, you can do the same design. Maybe you want duplicates. Maybe you wanna do exact same colors, or maybe you wanna do the same design and then switch the colors. Or you can do a completely different design. It is totally up to you. The only rule is it needs to show radial balance when it's done. And we need 2. So if I had this one and then I painted this one, I would be done because I have 2 that show radial balance.